This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's Hump Day edition of the Pit Stop, where you, my friends, the pit crew, you are the real star today's show, as usual, because we are here to just hang out and talk about sim racing. I have just been slowing this show down, purging the not-so-significant news in an attempt to get this show more about conversation about sim racing 3 days a week, rather than me trying to bring you the news. You guys have done a great job on your end, and without your cooperation, without your help, there is no way that I would be able to... Is there a stream issue? I see a stream. Hello? YouTube? You guys there? Hello? We get another one of those scenarios where it forced the live thing and put it as two different links. I'm good on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch doesn't ever have issues, it seems. Back up? Alright, we're back. Alright. Hey, Elvis, hello. Alright, it looks like it was just a glitch. I am only getting a live yellow light, which means mediocre connection between me and YouTube. Everything's great on Twitch. Anyway, alright, we're here. I mean, it's really more about talking sim racing. And sometimes it's driven by the news, and sometimes it's driven by things that have gone on in our world. So, yeah, well, let's get on with the news. The first news story is, I think, one that is worthy of discussion. So, before I get to it, let me just play their stuff. This is from Logitech. We talked about this on Monday.
Real.
Wow.
I am trembling. This is so much. This feels like real life to me.
So I was really impressed with it. It's, yeah.
One-word quotes. That's always interesting. One-word quotes. Thank you for following, Sergeant Psychotic. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the machine. Anyway, Logitech G923, the new era of sim racing. Now, why am I making a big deal? I mean, I know in the modern era, 2020, a lot of people have said, hey, we moved beyond Logitech. I remind you that the Logitech G25 changed sim racing forever. I mean, it is a definitive line in the sand about sim racing. Drug first. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the crew. Oh yeah, come kick your butt at Extreme. That would take a lot of work. Anyway, oh shit. The G923, featuring TrueForce. Lewis, we're going to come right back to that topic. Give me one moment on that very thought. No, it doesn't, Brad. It does. So we're going to come right back. I keep it coming, you guys. Flight is. Now that's funny. True racing comes from within. Alright, I think that's all we have to say here. Alright, now. Whoops. How did I get... Here we go. So here it is. The Logitech G923. It's Alonso approved, but see, it doesn't have any Alonso branding. It doesn't... My stream on YouTube is now showing green. I don't know if it just popped or just reset. But... And so here it is, Sloth. Here's the wheel. It does look almost indistinguishable. And that's an area where I just think is quite a cop-out. Did you have to? No, you didn't have to redesign, but you could have, right? You didn't have to make the pedals look different, but you could have. Now, from the looks of it, I don't think there's... I'm not going to say not a single. It's almost as if there's not a single change, visually speaking. I mean, okay, the little knob isn't red anymore. The PlayStation and the Xbox version are now nearly identical, versus you could say that there was a slight difference between the two if you knew the 920 versus the G29. But it is virtually the same. Everything about it. And to me, that's a cop-out. But let's talk about some of their other claims and things they're talking about. So the price, $399.99. No mention of a shifter whatsoever. We don't see one in any of their images. No mention as to whether the previous shifter is compatible. But here it is, the 923. Feel the future of racing. TrueForce, next-gen force feedback. We're going to come back to that topic. That's what I promised you. Premium build, aluminum, steel, leather parts that they incorporated. Dual clutch launch assist control, which I don't know what that means. That's got to be a button, because I don't see a third or fourth paddle on the back. True Racing comes from within. I think we already played this. Yeah, that was on their Facebook. TrueForce next gen simulation, our latest innovation. Force feedback connects directly to the game. Hold on, I'm going to go to a different area here. We're going to come back to... Alright. Basically, this is the main statement when it comes to their TrueForce. From the looks of it, inside, I don't see a big change. I mean, this essentially does look like the same size motor. Maybe they went to a better motor, because if you know the motors in the old Logitech, they're like the old Mabushi RC motor. Well, you could get a lot more out of those motors when you upgrade certain parts within them. Magnets, bearings, things like that, winds. They could have done more with the motor. They didn't really give us any knowledge as to whether it's even one iota stronger or not. They do mention it having a Hall effect sensor on the steering shaft, which I believe is an upgrade, and they're talking about lightning fast integration with the game, including, and they really go on to say this. So, this is the part I really want to focus on when we look at the differences, because we've seen no differences, right? Most racing wheels still operate on a 20-year-old force feedback technology, where forces and vibrations are created from a selection of profiles and a limited library of haptic effects. That's a true statement for the most part. That is what the Immersion company has designed, and everybody's been licensed to and using forever. It is the base core force feedback effects that 99% of the time we are using. That is a very good choice, Elvis. I mean, yes, that's an outstanding good choice. I have nothing to say bad about it. But we're going to come back to that a little bit even here. Anyway, designed to overcome the limitations of early USB technology and single-core CPUs. They're used to approximate the sensations generated from your sim car. This means carefully calculated physics from the game can be simplified and degraded. Not TrueForce. We developed high-speed, real-time haptic software technology derived from surgical force feedback systems with enough bandwidth to deliver detailed game physics right to your G923, so you feel everything. I.e., I do believe in the speculation that we had in our conversation on SimPit Live on Twitch, is that is very similar to what drives my SimXperience Accuforce. Giving a profiler the ability to take those in-game forces and to turn that into force feedback instead of the age-old scenario of somewhat generic force feedback. But again, we speculate a lot. I did see a picture of their profiler, and the truth. So, and this is where it implies this is true. So, feel TrueForce on these games. So, right out of the gate, it will be integrated in the grid, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and Gran Turismo Sport. Now, I don't know if that means because the game has created a profile unique to the wheel, or if the profiler recognizes those games and has pre-done conversions made by Logitech? And then will they expand on that list? What is up with YouTube? I see 59 people watching, which is about normal. With 30 over on Twitch. I see a green light, and it looks fine on my end, you guys. Not that that means anything. So anyway, yeah, I guess try refreshing, guys. So here is their fine-tune your race with G-Hub. But I think this is more like what... Ooh, I can actually download G-Hub now? Anyway, operating range, sensitivity, center spring strength. That's normal. A checkbox for center spring in force feedback games. A checkbox for apply settings from game. And then torque. And then audio effects. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a different motor. Maybe a slight jump, maybe. I don't know. It could also be one of those ones that if you're using a haptic sensor, I mean, like I think about my my 3D printer, and I haven't put it in yet, but there's a silent board. Well, the motherboard makes the motors quiet. So a better controller might be able to control those motors better as well. Yeah, I mean, now, on the good side, I will say this. You know, the Logitech is a fine wheel. This wheel will do very well for a lot of people. And if it has increased better force feedback, it could point a finger at Thrustmaster and Fanatec to kind of get with that same thing. It's an ability that every hardware company has made available to them. Accuforce. One of the reasons I love this wheel is because of some of the effects that it can do that standard force feedback cannot. And that I can independently adjust those effects instead of something like overall torque or minimum and maximum amount of torque. I'm so disappointed. I mean, other than this TrueForce sticker on the side, I don't see a single difference in what dates back now to the G27, right? I believe this bumper car front end, I call it, it looks like a classic bumper car to me. In a great way. I loved it on the G27. On the G29, I thought it was a cop-out. And on the G923, it's like, really? You guys are too cheap to just pay for a new friggin' mold? That's it. You know, 20 hours of design time by one of your artists and a friggin' new mold? No. Gotta regurgitate that. Including their clamps, which haven't changed. And, anyway, that is, we saw some pictures. I too thought it was a joke, or we questioned whether it was a real thing or a joke. What would it have killed them to have created, even if it was nothing more than just new pedal faces, right? I mean, I'm not saying that to go change the whole base, but you could have done some new pedal faces that have FA Racing logo, you know, right? How come this logo here, the Fernando Alonso Racing Esport logo, isn't sitting on this wheel? You know? They want Alonso all over it. Cool. Put that logo on it. I know it's a small thing to ask for, but yeah. Anyway, I feel like visually it's a total cop-out. Hopefully, that's not the case. Hopefully it is more. So, alright, that's the Logitech story. Kind of coming on the heels of that wheel, which I'm assuming is going to have forward compatibility, right? I can't imagine that Logitech could be so dumb to put a wheel out right now to have it in a matter of months be incompatible again. But anyway, Thrustmaster. 10 years ago, we kicked off their official partnership with Polyphony Digital and promised you to go far. Today we are ready to accompany you on the upcoming GT7. Are you 100? So it looks like the Gran Turismo wheel, at least, will be moving forward. I think so. So we already covered Logitech, PlayStation. Answer your questions, compatible PS4 peripherals and accessories. This is where Fnatic on Monday talked about forward compatibility. Essentially, it looks like we're going to be okay on the PS5. And that things are going to be, yes. Oh, that's the camera specific. So it looks like your PS5 Thrustmaster gear is going to work. It looks like your Fnatic PS5 gear is going to work. And I can only imagine, it didn't specifically say, I mean, when you look at the for sale sign here, it says for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It does not actually say PS5 or next-gen Xbox. What's the next-gen Xbox called? Why am I brain farting on that? Alright. Yeah, at $400, Theodore, that's a relevant comment. Yeah, it'll probably drop. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, shortly after you'll be able to get $299 probably. Series X, thank you. James, I'm looking very smart. Series X. Well, I mean, you could get a Fnatic TX, you know, T300 level, and for what, 300, I think, and then a set of the load cell pedals, and you'd be at 5, but that would be awesome. Yeah, I understand Azar, but car makers also understand that after a certain amount of time, it's at least time for a restyling change, and you hide that with a bunch of reused parts on the inside. So whereas like the drivetrain parts might be 2 generations older, they've certainly changed the look. All right, what else? iRacing, Daytona NASCAR road course configuration was released. This must have been when they did the nickname thing. NASCAR is preparing to make history next weekend as all 3 National Series plus the ARCA Menard Series will take on new configuration of the Daytona International Speedway road course for an unprecedented race weekend. iRacing is pleased to announce that the brand new layout is now available to all its members to race, just in time for the track's highly anticipated debut. I'm assuming they didn't go rescan. I'm assuming, did they go scan that, or did they visionary that? The Daytona road course has been... Anyway, so that just came out. Is it pretty good? I've been wanting to try it out. What else? All right, Cardwell regains World of Outlaws late model points lead at Fairbury. So things stay pretty hot. Look at this championship battle. You've got 78 points in lead. Hayden Cardwell. Kendall Tucker only 3 points back. This is the what? $25,000, right? $25,000 championship, I believe. It's either 20 or 25,000. You'd think they'd almost put that in the title. Yeah, I can't imagine they would have. I think they just visionaried it. So, is it a car breaker, Tony? Does it break your car? What else? iRacing will be coming down for deployment. This was on the 31st. That's not what I... Oh, this is what I wanted. Oh, look at this post. Dale Earnhardt Jr. He won an official A-Class Cup race this afternoon. His first in over 9 years, he thinks. We can all sympathize. Hey, Baba Boothie. Baba Boothie, Baba Boothie. Stuck with the parental duty. I'll say good morning to those kids and best of luck in keeping them entertained. Let's see. So we already covered that and that and that and that and that. All right, we're done. We're done. Moving right along. Project Cars pre-orders for Project Cars 3 are live. Live. Pre-order the deluxe edition today and get the season pass. 4 packs crammed with content. The ignition pack, 3-day early access. The ignition pack and 3-day early access. Pre-order the standard edition and get the ignition pack. I'm not sure about this. Steam. You know it's going to be available on Steam keys too, right? I mean, so digital. Ooh, I want a box version. Only digital versions available in your region. Your region does not have any availability. Digital. Steam. $59 pre-purchase. Project Cars 3 Deluxe. $95. I don't know about this whole paying for software routine. Futuristic Viper, I think the only thing that'll happen is slightly mad if Project Cars 3 tanks is that their independent group will be dissolved into the sim pit, into the Codemasters studios. $95, no, that's USD. Deluxe edition, full game, season pass bonus. But we don't even really know what a season pass really is. You mentioned the C8, there you go. I just don't know, you guys. August 27th. Game will unlock in approximately 3 weeks. $60. And so, the season pass. So, the deluxe edition, $94.99. And get the season pass. 4 packs crammed with content. The ignition pack. And 3-day early access. So basically every streamer is supposed to just kick in that extra $30, I guess, or play ball with them so that you send them praise or get hate mail from them and then blacklisted. Pre-order the standard edition and get the ignition pack. No mention of actually getting the early access. That's restricted to the big boy version. More money than sense. That's not me, but wow. Night Fire, welcome to the crew. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the machine. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really, I don't remember seeing any word that was very clear as to what the packs were going to be. Spatial, I do believe so. I believe that is the case. They are the first. They are the first. All right, I have to think about what I want to do here. $95. VR supported. All right. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going to think about it. I haven't done it. We didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. All right. Did you guys, anybody join the Dirt 5 Discord? What are they talking about? I didn't Get in there. Anybody else? Anyone? Anyone? What are they talking about? Everyone yell, no! No! Don't drink the poison! No! Don't jump off the cliff! I'd only be doing that for 3 days access. I think that's the only reason I could justify the larger amount of money. A review copy? Yeah. Even Boothie says no. I'll tell you what. Right now I am actually working on and trying to finish my F1 2020 review. I don't mind letting the cat out of the bag. It is a fairly favorable review of the game. I've really enjoyed it, and in the case of NASCAR Heat, it had been a long time I hadn't played it at all. In the case of F1, it's a long time since any of their titles captivated me enough to keep me playing long to really get a great feel for it. If you have connections, sure, Roel. I mean, I can send them some email and cross my fingers. I'm not sure who my Codemasters media contacts are no longer the ones, but if you have a connection, absolutely. And let me know that you did, just so I don't redundant them. All right, we're gonna go that route. I'd love to see, man. I gotta tell you, one of the things that's so awesome about F1 2020 is it does have pretty good sense of speed. So when you're in one of these Formula One cars, you know, the pinnacle of racing in the world, you get a good feel for that and the timing of it. And I think that VR in that game would put it over the top. The other thing that I gotta tell you is I think that the trackside graphics are really amazing in F1 2020. And all the stuff going on while you're doing 200. And I think that would also be really cool in VR. The other option would be waiting to see, because I know with like NASCAR Heat 5, I think it was, something I bought recently, where they're literally selling them on Stream Keys like the day after launch for like $10-15 cheaper than retail. Yeah, that's been our line, Tim. You know, that's a relevant point. How many people have been just like, no VR, no buy? Right? I mean, it's more than a joke. For a lot of our racers now, that is a critical aspect. VR supported. Which also immediately makes you say, well, why not F1 2020? What's up with that? What about Dirt 5? No triple support. Now, Amir, so F1 2020 didn't have triple support. I mean, it would let you select triples, but when I think of the word support with triples, I think about the ability to adjust my field of view and my angle of my monitors. So, now, with F1 2020, you had field of view, but it still had no bezel compensation. It still had no angle change for distortion. But it was a good triple screen experience. I mean, I'd still take triples over singles on F1 2020. Roel, and I think there are a lot of people who are in that category. Jump. Tim's still rooting for the jump. We could switch and get the not deluxe. $60 to $95. That's a $35. With Vortex and tweaking. Now, is Vortex just a glorified theater view, phantomized? It does look sexy, Skyline. Nightfire, I don't know the answer because I've not officially raced enough on one of those ultra wides. I've driven on one, but not for enough time to truly know. I think it really depends on your situation. For me, doing what I do, it's hard for me to get my monitors close enough. So me, I think the answer is no. If you're able to get your monitors right here on your rig, then maybe yes. Hey, Derek Spear, welcome. Welcome to the crew. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Awesome Blue XR8, you should come join our Simpit Oval Series, for sure. Tofi, is it there? Look at that. Holy cow. I don't think I want the deluxe edition. I don't need that for review. Other than the pre-order. The only reason it would be worth it would be to get 3-day access. Boothy. CD keys is sketchy? I thought they were pretty good. Are they sketchy? I don't know. I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying. I think I bought things from CD keys before. All right. Moving right along. Yeah, I thought so too. So yeah, a few people. I'll put it back up. So when are they saying it comes out? Delivery, pre-order. They don't write the 28th. Boothy. What do you think? I'm going to put that over there for later. All right, moving right along. Dirt 5, that's where we were. We were already moving. Oh, well then you should join our Simpit GT3 series, which we're midway through, and that'll get you in for next season. And we're right now selecting our car and season for next season. I don't know anything about them, Bryce Evans. Asked if SimFi is legit. Don't know them. 28th was there, was it? I didn't see it. I still don't see that. Ah, release date. There it is. Yes, I see it. Yep, thank you, Woot. Yep. Thank you, Nightfire. Alright, so Dirt talking about Dirt 5. Time to show your buds who's the boss. Who's up for 4-player split screen. You know, little mini COVID parties playing 4-man split screen on Dirt 5. Coming to current gen consoles, PC, Xbox X, PS5, so on. For their challenge. Latest Stampede. 19 hours ago? Why do I feel like we've already seen this? What you mean, Derek? Azar, there you go. Alright, Dirt 5 has been nominated for this game's Yuki UK Game of the Show at Gamescom. So they're in the running for that. Today, they pay tribute to the legendary Colin McRae, who would have been 52 years old today. His fearless driving is what inspired our games to be made, and we're honored to continue his legacy into the future. A few shots of his cars from in-game. Oh, they're sold out everywhere. Isn't everything on the, like, normal sim product level completely sold out? I thought it was really hard to get most normal components. High-end, there's still a chance. What else? I think that's all I had to say about Dirt Rally. Anyway, happy birthday to who would be 52, Colin McRae. And what else? Formula One, Xbox players who did not receive their pit coins. I heard a few people talk about that, actually. For the F1 2020 game should now have a message from Xbox Live with a redemption code. They're a myth. The thrust, Steve's eyes. The Thrustmaster load cell pedals are a myth. I have a set. Anyone want to pay me over retail for them? I'll be patient. They'll be back in stock. What else? What else? I think that's it from F1. They're down for maintenance. That's it. Took a little longer than planned, but they're back. They're done. And that's really it from them. I remember way back when I had a buddy who hangs out in our Discord a little bit, so I'm not going to mention his name by name. But when the G25 came out, he bought like 10 of them. You give me 210. Derek, if you're in a super pinch, contact me. I mean, if one would save you, contact me. Not about 210, but I mean, dude, you and me. I'll just, if you need them, I'll send them to you. Just send me something later when they're back in stock as a replacement. But I would do that for you. Grid. What else from Grid? Oh, so they're also talking about... Oh, so my buddy bought a stack of G25s, like 10 of them. And that wheel sold out, and then at Christmas the following year, you couldn't buy them again. And he was selling those wheels for like $800. Oh, yeah, Derek, then yeah, contact me. You have my email. Contact me and I will help you out there. You've helped me out so much. I will help you out. Yeah, but it was brilliant. He made a fortune on the wheel. All right, but you're going to owe me one or a replacement of some sort of something. We'll square up. Well, people are willing. He put them on eBay. That's how it was going. This was when eBay was all the rage, right? So he would just one by one put them on eBay, brand new, in a factory box, unopened, still sealed G25. And people would, you know, if you were a hardcore sim racer and you're now depending on your G25 and God forbid something did break, you were screwed. 209. A bidding war is on. Feel the force with TrueForce and Grid. Remember we mentioned that about the G923. It was gonna have Grid. It was gonna be integrated into Grid right out of the gate. HD, new HD force feedback system that dials into the game's physics and audio engine. Interesting. To deliver an ultra-realistic experience. That audio thing is a little disturbing. V1, the CSW V1 is garbage. The V2 was garbage. Yeah, maybe Phantomized. It could be like a butt kicker type effect. For sure. Yeah, seriously. So John Hill mentions that there are people who did that with the old Microsoft wheel, charging 600 Bs. Well, again, because in the case of the Microsoft, even maybe even more than the G25, you didn't have really another option. You were just kind of screwed if your wheel broke and you were really a hardcore racer. The 2.5 was brilliant, though. The Club Sport Wheel 2.5 was brilliant. It's amazing how the V1, V2 are garbage. I don't mind saying it. And the V.2.5 is brilliant. Amazing what they did between that half a step. They should have called that one the V3. Anyway, grid is going to happen with TrueForce integration. There you go. That's it. Oh, but I praise them. You know, Fentimize, they have to get over it. I call it like I see it. You know, I'm done sugarcoating. There's no more sugar coating. I'll tell you, I am a reviewer, and as a reviewer, I am an optimist and a half full betterment of our hobby, sport, industry, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I'm going to say what I feel. And you have a 2.5, don't you, John? John, if you still ran on a V2 and you have a podium, if you are on your V2 and you have a podium sitting in a box, there are a million people who would kill you for that. If you're on a 2.5, I'll excuse that. But as my friend, do you need help making the change? Is that what it? Do you need help, buddy? Back in stock there. Oh, that's cool, Skyline. I kind of wish I had a few of my retro wheels. I just don't have the room to store it and lug them around. The TGT, I think it's a really good wheel. I think that most of the things that make... Demolisher asked what I think of the TGT. I think the TGT is a really good wheel. And I think that in most cases, depending on where you buy it and what it costs, you're paying a premium for some features that... I mean, that wheel rim is okay, but I would absolutely take the TSXW and the money saved in order to buy a pair of TLCM pedals, or at least be on my way towards it, instead of paying the premium. Now, if I'm a GT Sport driver, throw all that away. The TGT is the wheel to get, for sure. John, you do need help. Yeah, the V2, you know, the V2's... I shouldn't crap on the V2. The V2 is just really bound up. It's got a lot of built-in friction that robs you of some of the force feedback effect that you would feel in a 2.5. That's all. It's a reliable, good wheel in that regard. All right, moving right along. Great conversation, you guys. I totally appreciate it. What is next? Whoops, I went too far. I've gone too far. NASCAR Heat. Excited? Wait, no, that wasn't it. Here we are. So... You guys tell me what you're thinking. Okay, how many of you play NASCAR Heat 5 or 4, I should call it? NASCAR 4.5? NASCAR Heat. Last week we released the NASCAR Heat 5 July DLC with 40 Cup schemes and 10 Xfinity's Paint Series schemes. What schemes are you hoping to see in the August DLC? And my initial thought was, really? Really? Do you really think that's the thing that I'm missing? I like NASCAR Heat a lot, by the way. Yeah, it's got issues, but it's fun. Great Scott. And NASCAR Heat 5 has some issues, and it's still great fun. But one thing that is not keeping me having more fun is more schemes, especially in the name of a second. So they're what schemes are you hoping? Like that's what I'm waiting. Anyway, I just remember when I was driving that ridiculous road or left and right turning dirt track, how silly that was, and how much the dirt tour could have been expanded upon since they did, put it in the game and make it a big part of it. It's like, well, in total, I think they had 7 dirt tracks. And I actually, once I got used to the way it drove, which I don't think is much like a real dirt car drives, but once I got used to what it wanted and I drove it like it is instead of what I wanted it to be, I really enjoyed the dirt racing too. So they could have expanded on the dirt side of things. I mean, I know they already have all the real life NASCAR tracks. That's great. But I don't need paint schemes. There's something else. Maybe more direction on the series. Maybe it needs, little midgets or something. Maybe it needs little baby NASCARs. If you're going to start giving me DLC and charging me for it, you're going to have to get better than paint schemes if you want my hard-earned money. That's what I'm saying. Levine Family Racing, this only applies if you're a NASCAR fan or if you're like really into the top peak level esport, because all the real life NASCAR teams are real life sponsors of esport teams. Anyway, Levine Family Racing is selling all their assets off and folding, so they're going to continue through the 2020 season, and with it will also be the esports series drivers or teams. I don't know, it didn't say who's buying it, so I don't know where these drivers and teams and assets are going to end up. And I think that's it from NASCAR. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Oh, that's cool. So the fight for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League crown will take place on PCs, provided by Asus USA and Asus Rogna. Season finale, August 19th, 2020. 8 finalists, 3 races, $70,000 on the line. And there you go. There you go. What do you think? Alright, we're getting to it. Gran Turismo. Oh, this is good. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Kazunori Yamauchi. I'm sure he won't hear that from me, but I really do mean it. One of the most important people in all of sim racing. I mean, we could name the people who've been innovators, the people who've helped sim racing become what it is. Sometimes we're talking about things on the scale of the sim itself. Sometimes we're talking about the markability with the regular world. Sometimes we're talking about things like the GT Academy and the future expansions of careers of sim racing. Kazunori, man, he's been a big part of it from the very beginning. One of the most important people in our world. And happy birthday to you, bud. Or you don't know me. I've met him, actually. So I can't say that he doesn't know me. I've actually met the man and talked to his interpreter, because he doesn't speak any English at all. And I actually wonder if he actually doesn't. I think he just lets his interpreter do his job and chooses. Like Howie Mandel doesn't shake hands, Kazunori doesn't speak English in public. Anyway, happy birthday, Kaz. Good luck on GT7, man. We're really, really hoping and rooting for you there. And that takes us to the latest in the top 16 superstars. This is the big, I was going to say the big boys. This is the big boys. This is the best of the best in GT Sport right now. Going head to head in the final of their latest round, round 28, Oceania region. And give it a moment.
Alan there, you get the
Look at the
impression
different
they're
makes
so
racing
slow,
tightly,
straight line.
by the
Every
way.
time we see it, they just can't get out of the corners quickly, can't do
All of
anything.
these car makes are very close. Look at the every one of those is a different type of car, and that is great to see. That's something that's wonderful.
Danny Solis back in New York last year at Laguna Seca, where that car in Group 4 trip was
How
very
far
quick.
back
Of
did
course,
I
balance
go?
performance has changed since then, so that may be why it's not
Come
quite so
on.
quick at the moment. Finish is looking like he might be falling down to 12th position before too long here, because Simmons
Come on.
is really beginning to close up. Speaking of closing up, that gap between Jones and Lukowski has not too much about that. The man he needs to think about is the guy who's right at the back of this train, Matthew Allen in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, look at this though. Healy on the inside, Bishop on the outside. Mahindra is the Nissan in the sandwich of the Japanese cars then. So this is very exciting stuff between them. It's all going to be null and void though as we come in towards the spoon curve. Into the spoon curve we go, still side by side with Healy versus Mahindra then. Into the left-hander.
Come on.
Healy's on the inside, Mahindra down into 11th position. Simmons right up the
Totally
back
screwed this
bumper
up.
of him. And this is where the penalties are going to be served here. But we need to keep an eye on the race leader, because Emily Jones is coming through the
There it
final
is.
corner, and she is going to make history by becoming the first female winner of the Top 16 Superstars event. She takes her maiden win in the Oceania region.
There you go. We know Emily Jones. She's part of the pit crew. She comes through here every once in a while. We've interviewed her on the show. We've raced with her. Congratulations, Emily Jones. As he said, first female to win one of these races.
Maybe getting a
Oh, now I really screwed it up.
That is the guy.
All right, moving right along. Rita, I didn't have anything. Oh, so yeah, just a little post, not much here, but look at this, Rita, a little secret, little small post. More AI improvements to come in the next few days. All right, so I guess they're really excited about that. Wreckfest tournament update. Summer Smasher, trash your way to victory and harvest your reward in Wreckfest new Summer Smasher tournament. So they're pleased to announce the launch of a new tournament season, Summer Smasher. Anyway, if you're looking for some fun, you can get in on that and get some big money or points in Wreckfest World. Tim, you sent this one in. I think Spatial sent this in. I showed you tours of the Peterson Automotive Museum that I believe Forza was doing. Well, now it's kind of the opposite. This is Peterson Automotive Museum going on a tour. This time it's All-American Racers. You know, All-American Racers, if you don't know that name, then you're probably not as old as I am. If you're as old as I am, you know All-American Racers as Dirt Dan Gurney. This is a shop tour. All the links to everything we covered have been in the description of the show. Let me put this one in case you guys just want to see a cool video. But yeah, you can see Road to Car Weekday 1, and it's a cool inside look at
Take a quick walk through our
Gurney,
shop,
which I believe is down in like Irvine. It's not even that far
cars
from
that
me.
we've built through the years that we've been able to hold on to. I'm trying to make this video about 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to skip through a lot of stuff here, so it's going to be...
I'm going to skip through a lot of stuff too. Look at
Cars
this
are in the
place.
back, so I'll head that way. Phil Remington's workbench.
Anyway, I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's worth the watch. If you're at work and your boss isn't looking and you want something, it is definitely worth the watch, you guys. So get that link and check it out. Go to the shop. Yeah, aren't they in Irvine? I'm going to have to double check, I think. John Hill, you know where they are. And that takes us to a few Simrigs, a little bit of SimPit housekeeping, and then we're going to bring the show to a close today. So this made me laugh. This really did make me... I was like, nah, those aren't Fanatic wheels. These are so old that they predate any knowledge I have of Fanatic steering wheels. And I'm wondering, were these even available in the United States? I don't even know what these wheels are. I almost accuse it of being like a sticker. They're in Costa Mesa. John, can we go watch? Can we go in? Can you do a tour? Haven't you been there? You have one of these, Billy? What era is this from? This is a lap wheel. This looks like it has, I call it lap wings. This is a total gamer wheel, like the Microsoft Xbox wheel way back when. Yeah, All-American Racers. Anyway, this made me laugh. Look at how beat these suckers are. Look at how beat up these things are. This was the thing that made... at first I thought it was BS, and I'm like, no, I don't remember seeing that. And then I saw that, and I'm like, you know what? That was totally their... like, this was the Speedster. The two-handed controller that you could tilt like that. Yeah, Speedster. Totally. That was their original... Before I knew of Fanatic, that was what they were calling their stuff. So yeah, there's the PS4 or the PS3, right? And the Xbox equivalent. Made me laugh. This is cool. Check this out. Look at the seat. Look at how high this thing is. I have a standing desk, right? That's like a lot of people have those standing desks now for whatever reason. I have a standing desk, so I had to get a little creative until he gets VR for a dedicated rig. Look at this giant baby seat, high chair he made. And look at his pedals up on top. Like, he's got a Formula 1 position almost. What looks like to be a few feet up in the air. Pretty awesome. PS2 and Xbox. Thank you, Billy. Anyway, I thought this was pretty cool. Made me laugh. What's this? Pro Class. $1,000. Wonder what Pro Class that is. I'd love to know. Love to know. Alright. This is just a little bit touching, so, and maybe some of you can relate. Thrustmaster TMX. My son has pretty severe autism, and I have one of my best friends has a son with severe autism, and I know how difficult at times. I have no concept of how difficult it is. I know at times how difficult it can be. But check this out. Thrustmaster TMX. My son has pretty severe autism, and lately we've bonded over our newfound addiction, sim racing and motorsports. Anyone have a suggestion for an inexpensive smaller wheel and pedal mount? Anyway, I thought it was great that yeah, well, they're just getting into it, you know? This is their new hobby, and anybody who understands, you know, having autistic children, being able to have a bond is really special. So this touched me mainly because of a good friend of mine, and but I just thought it was a sweet another. You know, there are always really good, super positive stories in sim racing when you look for them. Check this out. Oh, the depreciating value of crap, right? Now I'm not making friends. This guy Vic 218. He found this handbrake for only $5 in a yard sale. Now that is a coup right there, really. I was joking. But $5 for a Fanatic shifter, that's a heck of a deal right there. So, anyway, you can get them cheap if you look. I'm always a sucker for the dog or cat in the Simrig chair. Anyway, here's his little Pomeranian. So, are we gonna race or what? Oh, look at that. I for years was really kind of not a small dog guy, because, well, whatever. And then I got Max, who's 24 pounds. He's like, I don't know if you want to call him the biggest of a small dog, or if he's the smallest of a medium dog, but look at the little Pomeranian. That's a dog. That's a dog. He's really cute. I bet he's ferocious for his size. Then check this out. There are two things that caught my eye here. Number one, I wish I had a garage. I would weld up a rig. If I had a welder and metal and a garage, I'd weld rigs all day long. Anyway, building this play seat with the help of his dad. Again, another father-son. You know, I don't have kids. And my dad passed away. So we can't do this together. But I really dig the whole father-son aspect that's going on. That sim racing is that bond. Blue. I'm sorry, Blue. I missed your exclamation. You even identified it and everything. I just got a little absent-minded on chat. Okay. Yeah. Well, we will definitely want... So, Blue XR8, Blue Merc. Shaun's sorry that I've not sent in his rig pictures yet. Still waiting for one more part to come. But because of the world problem, he's still waiting on it. Which is what we were talking about. That everything... Zell. No, it's... See how he put in Zell? See how he put in the exclamation marks? That, in all fairness, is supposed to be my warning to see comments, and I missed it. So he did everything to bring it to my attention. I appreciated him making sure I didn't miss it. So, anyway, I thought this was a really cool looking rig. But check out this little Mini Cooper, man. Look at this. Look at that in the back, man. Forget the rig. Look at this little tiny car. Look at it's on little sliders. This shows you where the second rear wheel is, by the way, because it's up on those rollers. That would be such a cool car to own. I would love to own that thing. I think that's like 45, 50, maybe 60 horsepower. Anyway, lucky guy. Father and son project. And then that takes us to last night, Tuesday Night Mustangs. I missed the race. I haven't had a chance to do it. Anyway, leading in the points. Our results, I look at the results, but they do a double header. So, whoops, I don't want to go to sessions. That's not what I wanted. Whoops. I have not tested that out yet. No, I have not tested out the new BMW 320. Oh, Zell! Oh, awesome! It took forever to get there, I'm assuming. Those the ones from me? Oh, man, that's awesome. Oh, man, I'm such a space cadet. I can't read. You built one based on mine. Awesome! That's even better. Man, all right, am I red? I'm all embarrassed. Jason Gotta, 96 points over Anthony, king of second place, Batman Jr. There's your nickname. 95 points, and Brandon Skinner with 87 are our top three in the Tuesday Night Mustangs after last night's New Hampshire event, where I can tell you that at least Roger Clark won the feature race, it looks like. And that's that. Okay. Devin Booth just put up his latest track guide, so if you want help in the Mazdas, he put up one of his... Hey, what's this doing? Whoa, that was... Oh, I see, that was a little pre-roll. If you would like to join either of our series, we have the SimPit GT3 series.
This is the SimPit. I'm Devin.
We also have the SimPit Oval series. I'm not sure the status on accepting invitations, but I know that we only had like 20 out for one of the races, so there's room. But we will be starting a new season at the end of this one anyway. Anyway, you go to iRacing, you do a search for SimPit Oval Series or SimPit Road Racing Series, and you send in an application, and we accept you. That's how it works.
With this week's Mazda guide.
So here's a video at SimPit, just came out. This is by Devin Booth, and it's one of our great track guides. This time it's Lime Rock Park with chicanes. I love these videos.
The first spot that you need to watch for is the entrance to T1.
These are literally my favorites.
Go wide, which will throw the entire corner. Watch how deep you brake here, and if you're planning to pass on the inside, be aware that it takes only a small error to go wide here.
Yeah, it does.
End your race.
It will end your races right. Anyway, if you want help, if you want to be faster or better in the Mazdas at Lime Rock Chicanes, check out that video. And then finally, that takes us a little pre-promotion for something coming up on the 20th of August. And it is the SimPit Endurance Team, and they are going to be taking on Barcelona, Spain. Catalunya. That will be live on SimPit Live and on KA Sim Racing coming up on the 20th. So just be sure to put that in your calendars. That is the 20th, Amir, not the 8th, right? It's the 8th month. You do Euro. You're doing Euro stuff. August 20th, I believe, is the date that will be aired. And tune in, support, and root for that team. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. That's all I've got on the news front. You guys helped me fill an hour with some great... Oh, that's this Saturday. I'm sorry. That is the 8th of August, 2020. I gotcha. This Saturday. Futuristic Viper. In theory, yes. The ones that I played were not all that great. And I don't have a whole lot of extra time, so it's hard for me to get deep into. But yes, if you have a recommendation for a good fishing sim that is good, not just like, but the ones I played were so generic in their own way that I didn't like them. But, I'm such a city boy. Believe it or not, my brother and I have actually considered trying to find some, like, bass fishing camp where you go, like, do bass masters type fishing. And notice how I took my time to say that very slowly and enunciate everything clearly, so no jokes needed, anybody out there. Anyway, all right, you guys, that's going to do it for this one. It's been a blast. Happy hump day to everybody. Get out there. Do the sim race. Do the sim racing. Do the sim racing. This is the SimFit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.
Thank you.